Oh, hello, champ. Hey, bud. Hey. That feels good, don't it? Me and old champ been working today here at the house, and it got me thinking. And I think from time to time, you know, I do a lot of goofy videos. I shoot sauerkraut with an automatic BB gun and tannerite in a TV. Y'all see me acting stupid a lot, but from time to time I think we need to have some serious talks. Not downers, but just serious, you know, some things that need to be discussed. And I'm just going to call this a fireside chat with the preacher. You may hear a fire burning there. I've cut down about 6 or 8 trees today. I'm clearing a spot in my backyard to expand my garden. And as I was cutting these trees down, I was thinking about all the people that would be upset that we cut down a tree. I want you to look behind me. I own everything you see behind me. Does it look like I'm clear cutting here? And who cares if I am? I own the land. It's mine. I love these trees back here. There's nothing prettier to me than a set of woods in the wintertime when all the leaves are gone and you can see down through those ridges when the sun shines. You can see a squirrel 2 ridges over running through the trees. That's beautiful to me. But it's my land. If I want to turn it into a potato hill, what's it to you? Then I was taking the brush that I had, or the limbs that I had cut off these elm logs and hickory logs. I'm going to put the elm logs over here on the backstop of my shooting range. The hickory I'm going to cut up and use in the smoker when I smoke meat. But as I was burning all these limbs, I got to thinking, you know, in most of the cities around this country, you can't build a fire in your backyard. You know, there's some states you can't even have a wood-burning stove unless you've got some kind of wood-burning muffler on it where it doesn't make any smoke. Then I was thinking about, you know, where I live at, living out here in the country like this and not having any neighbors around. And people always say, boy, you're living the good life. And I thought, yeah, you know, really, I guess I am. But I never thought of it that way. I just thought I was living. I was feeding the chickens and giving them some fresh water today. And, you know, people was always calling me on YouTube. They'd call me a homesteader. And I watch a lot of homesteading videos, and it kind of tickles me. People talk about working on the homestead. I haven't worked on a homestead. That's the kind of crap you did on Oregon Trail. Homesteaders are sodbusters in Kansas in the 1850s. We're not homesteading. We're just making a home. And I guess what I'm getting at is we have let our freedoms in this country devolve to a point that if you have enough yard to put a garden in and live in a place that will allow you to have a few chickens in your yard, you're old-timey. I mean, I watch a lot of shooting videos on YouTube, and everybody's at some public range. They all say, well, you know, I'm getting ready to spend a day on the range, and they work everything up for 2 weeks, and then they go and pay to sit down and shoot with a bunch of other people. I don't think I've ever been to a paid gun range in my life. I'm trying to think. I really don't think I've ever been to a paid gun range in my life. I'm not criticizing you guys that are doing that. I'm just saying that our freedoms have just devolved to where we pay to go to places to shoot guns, whereas our forefathers just went over in the woods and found a safe backstop and shot. You can't do that in the national forest anymore. You can't have chickens in your yard if you live in town. You can't build a fire in your backyard if you live in town. You can't cut down a tree in a town unless you get somebody's approval from City Hall. Man, we've lost our freedoms. I guess I wanted to sit down for a few minutes, and I never experienced any of that. I lived in town growing up. I walked to school every day. Walked to elementary school, walked to middle school. When I got in high school, I had a couple of friends pick me up till I was old enough to drive. But I lived on the edge of town, and the town I lived in was small, and you know, we shot BB guns in the yard. We had a bow range set up in the yard, and I was a stone's throw from a military base with 76,000 acres that I roamed around on. And now I go back home to the town I grew up in, and it's just rules after rules. You can't have yard sale signs up. You can't do this. You can't do that. I understand part of living in a polite society. I understand that if a bunch of people are going to live together in a collected area, you're going to have some extra rules. But I guess what troubles me is why people are willing to give up their freedoms to live in convenience. I drive 25 minutes to my office. The nearest grocery store's 15 minutes away. I drive down a dirt road to get home every day. My cars look dirty, but that's a small price to pay to just decide one day I'm going to make a bigger garden this year and walk out here and cut 5 trees down in my backyard with two or three more I'm going to take down. Build a fire, push up old logs. Get my .22 out, shoot it into the berm right here. Let my dogs run loose. No collar, no fence, no leash, no worries. I never thought I was living right. I just thought I was living. I never thought I was building a homestead. I thought I was just building a home. But then when I stop and think about it, most of our country has no idea what true freedom is. And they've never had it for most of their life. So they don't realize that it's gone. I know everybody can't live out in the country. But I know if you want true freedom, you can make a few sacrifices and get it. Maybe a lesser paying job. Maybe less retirement. Maybe you have to drive further into work every day. But if you want true freedom, I think it's worth it. I had to wait for the deer to get out of my yard this morning to start working. There's not many people that can say that. I think there's a deer in the woods behind me. Champ's on full alert. Anyways, I just want to encourage you, man. If you're stuck in the city, get out. If you're stuck in some liberal state, get out. You don't have to live in California. You don't have to live in some state in New England. You don't have to be stuck in some state that wants to take your guns away. There's places in this country that still qualify as America. And when people move here, they say they're homesteading. And I guess in their mind, they really are. When you come to the Ozarks, you really probably think you are homesteading. But if you grew up in the Ozarks, you're just living. So, thank you guys for watching my channel. I hope you'll contemplate some of the freedoms you have and some that you've lost. And I pray that when we vote for our leaders, we would all vote for leaders who want a minimal influence in our day-to-day actions. Leaders that'll give us true freedom. Leaders with a small government that'll leave us alone. That's what I'm voting for. Small government. More freedom. But I'm afraid that even living where I live and seeing the people that move in here from out of state, they're going to carry those ideas. They're not going to understand true freedom, and my kids and grandkids aren't going to experience the kind of freedoms that I had growing up. Well, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching my channel. I really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that tunes in and follows along and comments, and I appreciate it. So I'm gonna shut up, stoke the fire, throw some more brush on, and put the camera up. We'll see you on the next video.